The first style, which is called avoidant, or in adults it can be called dismissing attachment style, tends to happen when a parent is physically unavailable, like they're just not there much, or they're emotionally unavailable. They're not very comfortable dealing with emotions and neediness. They want their children to be independent and kind of do their own thing. They're not comfortable with tears or neediness, things like that. On the screen, you'll see some of the verbal messages that might come from a parent with this style of attachment. They all kind of deal with telling the child to kind of get away from them and deal with their problems on their own. Parents with this style tend to have a lot of trouble with physical affection. They might not be physically affectionate with their children. And then, of course, as I said, in their communication, they're communicating, giving the message that don't need me, don't come to me with your problems. I want you to deal with things on your own. With the second style of attachment, the anxious attachment, or sometimes called entangled in adulthood, parents with this style can tend to be overly sensitive. They often have unresolved anger or issues with their own parents, and it's sort of carried over into their adult life. They have trouble differentiating themselves from their parents sometimes even. And then once they're parents, they can often try to get their own needs met through their children. In communication, they can come across a little bit as that dismissive, get away from me. Again, if they're trying to get their own needs met and they're not in a place to deal with it, then they might push their child away, or they might send some of these other communication messages that you'll see on the PowerPoint slide. They can even resort to guilt and shaming. This third type of attachment style, the disorganized style, happens when a parent is chronically harsh or abusive. Some researchers believe that children who have this style often develop a secondary style, either the avoidant or the anxious style, because this isn't really a way of organizing behavior. It's more about avoiding the parent. But children raised with this type of parent who is abusive and harsh chronically, not just a few times, but that's chronically how they parent. And they have every reason to be literally afraid of their parent, and they want to try to get away from them. They internalize the belief that they are not worth anything and that adults cannot be trusted, among other things. Parents who have this style tend to use physical aggression, intimidation, or threats to try to control their children. And again, I've put up some examples of the kinds of communication that can come from parents who have this as their attachment style. The fourth attachment style, the secure style, is what we all want to have. And the good news is that even if you had one of these other styles of attachment, there's hope. You can, through work on your own past issues, through prayer, through healthy relationships, possibly counseling, you can achieve what we call earned secure attachment. But this style comes about when children have had their needs met most of the time, by parents who are emotionally healthy and know how to regulate themselves. Parents with this style know how to get their own needs met, and they can respect their children as separate people from them and understand that they have their own needs, their own desires, and their own ways of doing things.